Hi everyone, I'm Ranger Diana and today we're going to be doing outdoor cooking on a Dutch oven. Cooking programs are one of my favorite programs, not only because it involves food, and who doesn't love food, we all have to eat, but it also brings people together. So think of your meal times with family or friends. Even from prepping the food, it always brings people together. If you're at somebody's house and there's a get together, think of where people usually end up at. I know in my house, we can have the whole house, but we always end up in the kitchen or on the dining table. And food's something that goes back long time ago, and that we all have to do. We all have to get those nutrients in our body, no matter if we're an animal, no matter if we're plants, no matter if we're humans. So think of the ancient times with a meal was kind of like a whole day kind of thing, from getting together, going out hunting for food, or gathering crops, gathering ingredients for our meals, then coming back, prepping those ingredients, getting your fire started, and then cooking, and then at the end of the day, actually sitting down and eating your meal with your group. So for today, we're gonna be doing a dessert, and we're gonna be making a dump cake. So we're gonna go over what materials we'll need for our Dutch oven. So let's say you wanna get one or you have one and you wanna get started on outdoor cooking, maybe for your next outing, next camping trip. And then we'll go over the ingredients that we'll need for our recipe. We'll cook something while we're waiting for our cake to bake. We'll talk about the care of a Dutch oven. So let's go over what we need for our Dutch oven, or what I keep on my Dutch oven kit. So of course I got my Dutch oven, and this one is going to be a 12-inch. You can get them smaller, you can get them bigger. Just keep in mind, the bigger the heavier it's going to be, because these ones are pretty heavy. Two things I always have are going to be my little stand and also my lid lifter. So because this is going to get pretty hot, because it's going to be sitting straight on the coals, I have this lid lifter and then my stand. That way, I can pick it up safely and then put it without the lid touching the ground. I can check my meal and then I'm able to cover it back again. Another few items that I usually carry with me are going to be leather gloves, just because we are dealing with hot items. So those are going to protect your hands. I have my tongs. Those are going to be able to pick up the little coal bricks and move them around, place them on my Dutch oven. And another one I have, and you might be familiar with this one, is this chimney. You don't need it, but it just makes things so much easier. So you pretty much put the charcoal here, put some paper, some cardboard under, and you light up the bottom part. So you light up the cardboard and the paper, and that's going to start your charcoals or your coals. For our cake, we're going to be needing 3 ingredients. First one is going to be a box of cake mix. This one's going to be chocolate, but you can make any flavor you want. We're going to use a can of pie filling. This one's going to be cherry. And we're going to be using soda. So the carbonation and the soda, the bubbles in the soda, they're going to keep the cake moist, and they're going to make it rise, kind of like the eggs and the milk would do on a regular cake. Let's get started. First things first, you don't have to do this part. I just do it because it's easier cleaning. So what I do, I use foil, because that's what I had today, but you can use parchment paper. You can get some liners already for the size of your Dutch oven. And all this is gonna do, it's gonna cover our bottom. So let's line it up. And again, I just do it because it makes for easier cleaning, especially if I'm doing a program at the park, or if I'm camping. I don't have, maybe time or enough water to clean my Dutch oven. All right, so once I have my foil paper in my Dutch oven, we're gonna pour our cake mix in there. We're kind of gonna spread it a little. We are gonna pour about 12 ounces of soda. Again, you can use any flavor. Today I'm using a cherry flavor soda. And so here's the trick. So you want to pour your soda. And you want to mix. So we want to mix enough so that all the cake mix, it's moist, but not too much, because then we're going to lose that carbonation. We're going to lose those bubbles and our cake is not going to rise. We're done mixing. So you can see there's nothing dry. It's so moist in there. Everything's mixed together, but you still see some bubbles. We still have those bubbles in there. Now we're just gonna dump our cake mix, and this is why it's called a dump cake, because we're just gonna dump it there in the middle. And what's gonna happen is that the cake is actually gonna bake around the filling here. So you're gonna have that gooey, rich center, and then the cake baked around it. Okay, now we put our lid in and we're gonna get ready to start baking. Our mix is ready. We're ready to move our Dutch oven into the fire and start cooking our cake, start baking our cake. So this is the part where it sometimes gets a little tricky, but if you remember this formula, you should be good. From the number on your Dutch oven lid, from the diameter of your Dutch oven, you always want to subtract 2 charcoals. So this one's a 12-inch. I'm going to subtract 2. That means 10 charcoals are going to go under. And those 2 that I subtracted from the bottom, I'm going to add them to my top. Okay, so remember this formula. Always bottom is going to have 2 less, and the top is going to have 2 more. Again, 12-inch, that means 10 at the bottom, 14 on top. So let's start putting our charcoal briquettes. Already have my 10 at the bottom. I'm ready to start putting my 14 at the top. And I put them kind of like in a circle. That way we can kind of have like an even distribution of heat. Again, this is where our tongs and our leather gloves come in handy. All right, that's 14, and now we wait. All right, guys, I think this is ready. Let's see. All right, guys, it's ready. Time now to talk about caring for a Dutch oven. If we take good care of a Dutch oven, it's gonna last us for a long time. And caring for them, it's really simple. So once I removed what was left of the cake, it's empty. I rinsed my Dutch oven. I wiped it down with a paper towel. You can wipe it down with a little dish sponge. Make sure there's no residue. But if you're gonna use just water, you don't wanna use any soap in it because it's gonna take away that seasoning. So once it's clean and rinsed with water, you wanna dry it out. So make sure it's completely dry. And then you can put a little bit of oil and coat it. So that's going to add to that seasoning. And that's going to preserve your Dutch oven. So you want to do the inside, the outside, everything in here. And once it's clean, coated with oil and ready, you can store it on a dry place. So you want to keep it away from humidity. What I do for mine, once I coat it, I'll put a little bit of either butcher's paper or a napkin, and then store it that way. What the napkin's gonna do is gonna absorb any excess of grease, any excess of oil, or even moisture. All right, thanks for joining me on this Dutch oven outdoor cooking. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.